95% of humans don't believe this. But what if I told you that every choice you've ever made, what you wear, who you love, even what you believe, was never really yours? That somewhere inside your brain, the decision was already made before you even thought about it. Scary, right? Welcome to the club. Let's start with a story. A little boy named John sits in his room staring at two toy cars, one red, one blue. His mom smiles and says, "Pick whichever you want." He thinks for a moment, then grabs the red one. He believes he chose it. But deep down, in the quiet circuits of his brain, that choice was decided long before his hand moved. Because John's favorite superhero drives a red car. Because his dad once said, "Red is strong." Because yesterday on TV, he saw a red race car winning. Now you tell me, did John choose the red car or his past? All these tiny memories hid inside his mind like invisible hands gently pushing him toward red. He didn't even notice. Every single day, we wake up thinking we're in control. We say, "I decided to eat this. I chose to study that. I fell in love with them." But what if I told you it's not really you choosing? It's your past, your memories, your habits, your fears. They sit behind a curtain, pulling the strings like puppeteers. Think about it. Have you ever seen a puppet on a stage? It moves its arms and legs like it's alive, but the puppet doesn't know there are strings above it. We humans are like that puppet, only our strings are invisible, made of experiences, emotions, and little lessons we didn't know we learned. When you touch a hot pan once, your brain remembers pain. Next time you see a pan, your body flinches before you even decide to. That's your brain protecting you, but also controlling you. Let me tell you about Mira. When she was little, her dad used to yell whenever she spoke loudly. He'd say, "Be quiet, don't talk too much." Years passed. Mira grew up, went to college, got a job. But every time she wanted to speak in a meeting, something strange happened. Her chest tightened. Her mouth went dry. She'd sit back down, smiling politely. Her friend said, "Mira, why don't you speak up? You're so smart." She'd laugh and say, "I just don't feel like it." But inside, she didn't know why she stayed silent. She wasn't choosing silence. It was chosen for her, years ago, by fear, memory, and pain. That's how the mind works. We think we're choosing, but often we're just repeating. Think of it like painting with a puppet. The puppet's strings make the puppet's hand paint on the canvas. The painting looks like a free choice, pretty strokes, but the net is secretly tugging the brush. Scientists talk about causes and effects, that things that happen now are often shaped by things that happened earlier. That's what the net is. Many earlier things shaping the now. Now, let's peek inside the brain, where the truth hides. In the 1980s, a scientist named Benjamin Libet did something shocking. He asked people to press a button whenever they felt like it. Simple, right? But here's what he discovered. A few milliseconds before people felt they had decided, their brains had already started preparing the movement. In other words, the brain decided first. The person realized it only later. Imagine your brain as a quiet computer typing code before you read the screen. By the time you think, "I chose this," the code is already written. Later, Scientists even used brain scanners to predict what choice someone would make before that person knew it themselves. The future choice was visible on a monitor before the free will moment happened. So ask yourself, if your brain already knows what you'll do, are you really deciding? The no free will argument also has another strange but cool theory that does not rely on past, but on simple, basic physics. This is even more crazy because it states that every decision in our life is already pre-decided at the time of the Big Bang itself, and that you have zero free will. A long, long time ago, before people, before Earth, there was the Big Bang. Everything that exists today burst out from that one bright moment. Inside that explosion were tiny bits of matter spinning, bumping, and dancing to the rhythm of physics. Those tiny bits became stars, then dust, then planets, then you. Now, here's the strange part. Every gust of wind, every heartbeat, every thought is built from those same bits of atoms still following the rules of physics they had at the beginning. It's like lining up a billion dominoes. When the first one tips, the rest must fall exactly in the pattern set by their positions. Your decision to eat chocolate instead of vanilla is one of those dominoes, way down the line, still falling from the first push. So when scientists say, maybe free will doesn't exist, they mean this: every choice you make can, in theory, be traced back through causes and causes. Through your parents, the weather, the planet, the galaxy, all the first spark at the Big Bang.
Now, let's step out of the lab and back into real life. Have you ever promised yourself, I'll stop scrolling my phone tonight, and then hours later, you're still scrolling? That's not weakness. That's programming. Your brain learned that scrolling gives a tiny drop of dopamine, the chemical that says, good job. So even before you decide, your brain starts craving that reward. Your hand moves toward the phone before you realize it. You call it choice. The brain calls it habit. We repeat what once made us feel good, even when it hurts us later. That's why people fall for the same kind of toxic partners. That's why we say, I don't know why I did that. Because deep down, the decision isn't happening in the moment, it's happening in the wiring. Section 5, the game of roles. Now, imagine this. You're playing a role in a game. A student, a boss, a parent, a friend. Each role comes with invisible rules. A boss feels powerful, so they act confident, even rude sometimes. A student feels powerless, so they act nervous or small. But here's the twist. Once you wear a role long enough, it starts to wear you. The Stanford Prison Experiment showed this in real life. Ordinary people, given uniforms, became cruel guards. Others, told to act like prisoners, broke down in fear. They weren't choosing to be monsters or victims. The role chose for them. Just like in society, where gender, class, and expectations tell you how to walk, talk, and dream, all before you realize you're just playing a script. Section 6, the puppet and the writer. Here's something even deeper. Your thoughts, the ones you call yours, are just echoes. Your brain collects everything it has ever seen, heard, and felt. Every ad you've watched, every teacher you've had, every heartbreak you've lived, all mix inside, forming the you that makes choices. So, who's the writer of your life? If your choices come from everything that happened before you, and those things came from others, where does you even begin? Maybe free will isn't a switch you turn on. Maybe it's a movie that's already been filmed and you're watching it scene by scene, thinking you're the director. So, after everything we explored, the Big Bang, the dominoes, the net, the canvas, I need to tell you something important. Something human. Something real. This video was never meant to tell you your life is meaningless, or that you're a robot. You can't change anything. That the universe locked your story before you were even born. No. This was meant to be a thought-provoking discussion. Some scientists and philosophers look at the universe and say, maybe free will is an illusion. And sure, maybe it is. Maybe tiny particles in past events guide parts of who we are. Maybe the first domino nudged the one after it. But listen carefully. You don't need absolute free will to live a good life. If you feel like you choose what to eat for breakfast, who you love, dream your own dreams and chase your own goals, then that feeling, that lived experience, is more than enough. Even if the universe has some influence, even if some decisions come from habits, you still live your life from the inside. And from the inside, it feels real. It is real. We humans are not just atoms stacked together. We're not just cells or organs or chemical reactions. We are conscious beings. We look at ourselves, question the universe, imagine things that don't exist yet. No other creature on Earth can think like this. You can decide to change your future, even if the path shaped your starting point. You can take new paths, build new domino lines, create new threads in your net. And that ability, the ability to reflect, to choose, to grow, that's the closest thing to free will anyone could ever need. So don't fear this idea. Don't shrink from it. Don't think your story is fixed. You are still the one living your life, the one making meaning, who feels the joys, the hopes, the pains, the dreams. And if the universe gave you the illusion of choice, then what a wonderful illusion it is. Because inside that illusion, you can still become anything. After all, we're not just atoms from the Big Bang. We are the universe finally awake enough to wonder what it means. If this opened your mind, comment what topic you want next. And don't forget to save and share this reel with future thinkers. Because understanding psychology means understanding yourself.